Why, hello there. Welcome back. It's good to see you. I know why you're here. You, just like me, don't really care about UFC Fight Night, Nami Yunez versus Cortez, and you would much rather think about UFC 304. Well, don't worry. That's what we're here to discuss. Today, we're going to be looking at the co-main event. Aspinall, Big Tommy Aspinall versus Curtis Razor Blaydes. Without further ado, let's get right into this anticipated rematch. First up, Big Tommy Aspinall. He's been smashing through these heavyweights. Undefeated inside the UFC because we don't count spontaneous knee implosion towards people's records on this channel. So undefeated in the UFC. His striking is slick. His grappling is formidable. He's got insane knockout power. He's the full package. Do you remember when Big Tommy Aspinall slayed, absolutely pasted that Russian giant Pavlovich all over the canvas? Bink! Across the UK, since that day across the UK, bards have sung songs in all of the taverns about the time that Big Tommy slayed the Russian Pavlovich giant. Aspinall's striking is patient and accurate and patient, accurate and powerful. One thing's for sure, Aspinall packs one hell of a wallop. But let's not forget, his jits game is the jits game of somebody who was born and raised inside of a jiu-jitsu gym. His father's like a jiu-jitsu black belt, has his own gym. Aspinall was raised in there. He's been doing it his whole life. His ground game is second to none, especially in heavyweight, where everyone's trash on the ground. No annoying bottles today. Now on to Curtis Razor Blaydes. He's known for his knockout power. He's known for his cardio. It's safe to say Curtis is the type of fighter that throughout the fight remains as dangerous as he was within the first few seconds. If he survives the first few seconds. I'm not joking about Blaydes surviving the first few seconds. Blaydes has been finished by Francis Ngannou, fair enough. Derek Lewis, bit of a sketchy one. And Sergey Pavlovich, fair enough. All of these inside of 2 rounds. You know, not to say that he isn't good in the stand-up or good with the striking, because of all of his fights that have ended in a knockout, 76% of the time he's the victor, right? It's just he's been stopped by some of the guys who made it to the top. That kind of shows that perhaps he isn't going to make it to the top. Aspinall's there. Aspinall beat Sergey Pavlovich quite handily, So remains to be seen. Styles make fights at the end of the day. Let's not forget that Curtis Blaydes is the only man to have defeated Aspinall within the UFC. But as I said before, we don't count spontaneous knee implosion on this channel. And it was 15 seconds in. We didn't really get to see much of anything, and the two have wanted to run it back for a little while, so it's good that we're going to see it. I mean, Aspinall Blaydes 2 is set to be a pretty good matchup, barring another knee explosion. I hope Curtis Blaydes hasn't figured out how to harness that power yet, because if he'll just take over the world if he can just explode knees at will. With just by looking at them, you can explode knees. It's going to be one of Aspinall's toughest foes yet, really. A psychic who can explode your knees from a distance, from afar. The only ranged fighter on UFC 5 is Curtis Blaydes. How do I see the fight playing out? I think Aspinall controls every aspect of the fight. I think earlier on, Blaydes will be a little bit stronger in the grappling, but that's not so much on the ground. Stronger in the grappling in the sense of pushing it against the cage and being a bit more manhandly in the grappling exchanges, in the clinch exchanges, I should say. But barring that first round, perhaps, I think Aspinall starts to take over, if it even gets that, because Aspinall's got brilliant range control. And so is he going to let Curtis Blaydes just walk in on him? Is he going to let Curtis Blaydes close that gap on him? Probably not. Probably not. He's bigger, he's longer, he's probably going to stay on the outside, and expect the shot to come. He's He's well rounded enough to know when the shot's coming. It's reasonable to say that perhaps Blaydes is a little bit faster than Aspinall, but if you play the game right, you don't need to be faster than your opponent. You just need to know what your opponent's going to do. And if Aspinall can stay far away enough on the outside, I think he can reasonably control the majority of the fight. So how do I see the fight playing out? Is what you're here to find out, I suppose. I think Aspinall probably takes it. I think he's better in every aspect. I do think Blaydes is probably going to be a little bit faster and a little bit stronger at the start of the fight, but I think that goes away fairly quickly. Um, I don't think he gets a chance to use it because Aspinall's going to stay on the outside and try and pick away at him. He's going to see shots coming. He's going to avoid letting himself get into a clinch game like Blaydes wants it. I think he's going to pick him apart. He's going to hurt him on the feet. He might even finish him on the feet. I don't think it's going to go longer than 2 rounds. I think Aspinall finishes Curtis Blaydes within 2 rounds. That's the history of Curtis Blaydes. Every time he gets to this echelon fighter, this next level of fighter, he seems to get finished within 2 rounds. If you count Derek Lewis as part of this echelon of fighters, I count Sergey Pavlovich and I count Francis Ngannou. Counted Francis Ngannou, who's not here anymore. God rest his soul, stolen by Anthony Joshua. This fight is ultimately about showing that John Jones is not the true champion at heavyweight. It's Tom Aspinall, and Jones should be asking Aspinall for a fight. Never mind Aspinall chasing Jones down for a fight, you know? Yeah, it's ridiculous. No matter how many times Dana White says it, we know he's lying. We know he's just trying to compensate for the fact that he lost in Ngannou, and now he's stuck with John Jones, who is terrified to face anyone who is a contender in his division to protect a legacy that isn't there because he beat up a bunch of old men and people half his size. He seems to have it all figured out when he's fighting midgets. You know, John Jones ducked Francis Ngannou, fought Cyril Gane. What's Cyril Gane? He just got he got wrestled by Ngannou, so it was easy for John Jones to wrestle him. You know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough from me. Do me a favour, go like the video if you stuck around this long. Leave me a comment. Who do you think's going to win? Tom Aspinall or Curtis Blaydes? Hey, you could subscribe for more content like this. Ring the bell so you can be notified. It's up to you. Until next time, keep your chin down. Don't stop throwing. Peace and love. I'll see you around.